The year was 2001, and the excitement in Philadelphia was palpable as fans eagerly gathered for one of the most anticipated concerts of the year. The air buzzed with energy, filled with the sound of laughter, chatter, and the distant notes of Elton John's music filling the venue. The stage was set, adorned with bright lights and colorful decorations, creating an atmosphere that promised an unforgettable night. As concertgoers took their seats, they shared stories of their favorite Elton John songs and what the artist meant to them. For many, his music was a lifeline, a source of inspiration that had helped them through tough times. Among these fans was 17-year-old Evan Whitaker, who stood out from the crowd in his striking black tuxedo. He wore it proudly, determined to make a statement and show his admiration for the legendary musician. In his hands he held a large sign that read, "I learned piano because of you." This wasn't just a gesture, it reflected his deep passion for music and how Elton John's work had influenced his life. As the lights dimmed and the show began, Evan felt a mix of nerves and excitement. He couldn't help but wonder if there would be a moment when he could express how much this night meant to him. As the crowd cheered and clapped, each note played by Elton resonated deeply within Evan's heart. It was more than just a concert, it was a celebration of music and dreams. Little did he know that this night would soon transform into one of the most significant moments of his life. The anticipation grew as everyone waited for that magical moment when Elton would take them on a musical journey they would never forget. Evan Whitaker had been looking forward to this night for months. As a passionate young musician, he wanted to make a lasting impression on his idol, Elton John. Inspired by the power of Elton's music, Evan meticulously planned every detail of his outfit and gesture. He decided to wear a full tuxedo, believing it would convey the respect and admiration he felt for the legendary artist. Dressing up wasn't just about looking good, it was about honoring the man whose songs had shaped his love for the piano. On the day of the concert, Evan stood in front of the mirror, adjusting his bow tie with care. He could hardly contain his excitement as he envisioned the moment he would finally see Elton perform live. With each click of the mirror's reflection, he felt more determined to show how much Elton's music meant to him. Along with his tuxedo, Evan created a large sign that read, "I learned piano because of you." He carefully crafted each letter, wanting it to stand out in the crowd. For him, this sign was an essential part of the evening. It represented not just his dedication to playing music but also how Elton's songs had inspired him through difficult times. Evan hoped that by holding it up during the concert, he could share a piece of his journey with Elton. As he arrived at the venue amidst throngs of excited fans, Evan clutched his sign tightly. The energy around him only fueled his anticipation. He felt a mix of nervousness and pride as he joined other fans in celebrating their shared love for music. Little did he know that this preparation would lead him to a moment that would change his life forever. For Evan Whitaker, the sign he held at the concert was more than just a piece of cardboard. It symbolized his entire journey as a young musician. Learning piano had changed his life, and it was all thanks to Elton John's music. Growing up, Evan often found solace in listening to Elton's heartfelt melodies and powerful lyrics. They spoke to him in ways that nothing else could, giving him hope and strength during challenging times. When he first sat down at a piano, it was Elton's songs that inspired him to play. Each musical note became a connection to the artist he admired so much. As he learned to master the keys, Evan discovered not only a love for music but also a passion for expressing himself through it. The piano became his outlet, a way to convey feelings he sometimes struggled to share with others. Through every practice session, he grew more determined, wanting to one day create music that could touch hearts just like Elton's had touched his. The phrase on his sign, "I learned piano because of you," held deep meaning. It encapsulated the gratitude he felt toward Elton for igniting that spark within him. Holding it up at the concert was his way of thanking the man who had become his greatest inspiration. He hoped that by showing this message, he could convey how much impact Elton's music had on countless lives. As Evan glanced around at other fans holding their own signs and singing along, he felt a sense of unity in their shared admiration for Elton John. This moment wasn't just about him, it represented a community brought together by music, a community that recognized how powerful melodies could shape lives and create dreams. In that vibrant atmosphere, Evan knew that no matter what happened next, this night would forever be etched in his heart. As the lights dimmed and the crowd roared with excitement, the atmosphere in the venue became electric. Fans waved their hands in the air, singing along to every lyric as Elton John took his place at the grand piano. The stage was illuminated with colorful lights that danced in rhythm with the music, creating a magical backdrop for what was sure to be an unforgettable performance. When Elton began to play Rocket Man, the energy reached new heights. The familiar melody filled the air, and a wave of nostalgia washed over the audience. People of all ages swayed, lost in the song's haunting beauty. For many, Rocket Man resonated deeply, evoking memories and emotions tied to their own life journeys. It spoke of dreams, struggles, and the desire to reach for the stars, themes that everyone could relate to in some way. Evan stood among the crowd, captivated by Elton's powerful voice and masterful piano skills. Each note seemed to wrap around him like a warm embrace, reminding him why he had learned to play in the first place. As he held up his sign, he felt connected not only to Elton but also to everyone around him who shared this moment of musical communion. The chorus soared, and the audience joined together in harmony, singing aloud with passion. Evan felt a thrill run through him as he realized that this song was more than just entertainment. It was a shared experience that united everyone present. The energy swelled as Elton poured his heart into the performance, each word resonating with hope and aspiration. Little did Evan know that during this iconic song, his own journey would intertwine with Elton's in a way he could never have imagined. As the final notes approached, anticipation filled the air, setting the stage for an unexpected twist that would change Evan's life forever. As the powerful chords of Rocket Man echoed through the venue, Evan was lost in the music, feeling every note resonate in his heart. Suddenly, he noticed Elton glancing toward him. Time seemed to freeze as their eyes met for a brief moment. Evan's breath caught in his throat. Could it be that Elton had noticed him? In disbelief, he raised his sign a little higher, hoping to catch the artist's attention once again. Then, to Evan's astonishment, Elton smiled and waved directly at him. The crowd around Evan erupted into cheers as Elton motioned for him to come on stage. A mix of shock and joy flooded Evan's senses. He could hardly process what was happening. Was this real? Heart pounding wildly, he moved through the sea of fans, each step feeling surreal as excitement coursed through him. As he reached the stage, the bright lights momentarily blinded him. The roar of applause surrounded him like a warm blanket. Elton welcomed him with open arms and gestured toward the piano. "Come on, take a seat," he said with an encouraging grin. Evan felt a rush of emotions, anxiety, happiness, and disbelief all colliding within him. Sitting at the piano, Evan's hands trembled slightly. He could hardly believe this dream was coming true. But Elton leaned down and calmly said, "Take your time, Maestro." Those few words acted like magic. They reminded Evan that he belonged there, that this moment was meant for him. As he prepared to play the final notes of Rocket Man, he drew strength from the audience's cheers and from Elton's reassuring presence beside him. In that instant, all doubt faded away. This was his moment to shine, to express everything he had worked so hard for, all thanks to the man sitting next to him at that grand piano. As Evan took his first steps toward the piano, a wave of nerves washed over him. His heart raced uncontrollably, each beat echoing in his ears like a drum. The bright stage lights felt blinding, and he squinted against their glare, trying to focus on the task ahead. He could feel the weight of the audience's gaze upon him, their cheers mixing with his own swirling thoughts. His hands trembled as he approached the piano. They felt unsteady and foreign, as if they didn't belong to him. Would he be able to play? Doubt crept in like a shadow, threatening to overshadow the excitement that had surged through him just moments before. He took a deep breath, attempting to calm himself, but it only seemed to quicken the rhythm of his pulse. As he reached the piano bench, he sat down slowly, feeling as if he were walking on a tightrope between fear and exhilaration. The crowd's applause rang in his ears, blending with the lingering notes of Rocket Man. Evan glanced at Elton beside him, who offered an encouraging smile and an inviting gesture. In that instant, Evan felt a flicker of hope amid the chaos of emotions. "Take your time, Maestro," Elton said softly. Those words sank deep into Evan's heart, wrapping around his nerves like a comforting embrace. They reminded him that this moment was not just about performing but about sharing his love for music. With renewed determination, he placed his fingers on the keys. As he prepared to play the final notes of Rocket Man, Evan shut out everything else, the cheers from the crowd, his shaking hands, focusing solely on the music that had brought him here. In that moment, all doubt faded away. He was ready to embrace this incredible opportunity and let his passion guide him. As Evan sat at the piano, his hands shook with a mix of excitement and anxiety. He felt the weight of the moment pressing down on him, the realization that he was about to perform on stage with his idol. Just as doubt threatened to consume him, Elton leaned in, his warm smile radiating kindness that wrapped around Evan like a reassuring hug. "Take your time, Maestro," Elton said softly. It was as if those words had a calming magic. They instantly connected with Evan's nervous heart, reminding him of his love for music and how far he had come. In that brief exchange, Evan sensed that Elton genuinely cared about him, not just as a fan but as a fellow musician. Elton's encouragement was more than a simple saying, it was a lifeline. Those words filled Evan with an unexpected courage, transforming his fear into focus. He took a deep breath, recalling all the hours he spent practicing and dreaming of this moment. The pressure began to melt away as he reminded himself that this wasn't solely about perfection. It was about sharing his passion with the audience and celebrating music together. Feeling reassured by Elton's presence, Evan placed his fingers on the keys and remembered why he had started playing in the first place. It was always about expressing his feelings and connecting with others through melodies. With each note that flowed from the piano, he could hear the cheering crowd, but more importantly, he could feel Elton's support guiding him. The world outside faded into the background as he focused on the music. The fear that had gripped him moments ago dissipated into joy. "Take your time," would echo in his heart, not just for this song, but for all his future performances. In that moment, with Elton by his side, Evan knew he was exactly where he was meant to be. As the notes of Rocket Man swirled around him, Evan felt a rush of exhilaration wash over him. With his fingers poised above the keys, he took a deep breath and let the music flow through him. Each note felt like an extension of his heart, a culmination of all the hours he spent practicing in his room, dreaming of this moment. Slowly, he began to play the final notes of the iconic song, pouring his emotions into every keystroke. The audience was captivated. Their cheers and applause filled the air, creating an electric atmosphere that propelled him forward. Evan could see fans waving their hands and singing along, their faces lighting up with joy. It was a powerful reminder that they were all connected in this shared experience, united by music and passion. His nerves began to fade as he lost himself in the rhythm, feeling like he was part of something much larger than himself. Each note he played resonated with clarity, echoing through the venue as if celebrating not just Elton's legacy but also his own journey as a musician. The crowd's reaction intensified. They cheered even louder, offering support that buoyed Evan's spirit. This was not merely a performance. It was validation of every challenge he had faced along the way. As he reached the final moments of the song, Evan glanced at Elton beside him. The warmth in Elton's smile encouraged him to give it everything he had left. With one last flourish on the keys, he concluded, "Rocket Man!" and a wave of fulfillment washed over him. The crowd erupted into enthusiastic applause and cheers, filling him with an overwhelming sense of pride and accomplishment. In that instant, all doubt and anxiety dissolved into pure joy. Evan looked out at the sea of faces, people who understood his love for music, and felt a profound connection with them all. He realized that this moment would stay etched in his memory forever. It wasn't just about playing the piano next to Elton John. It was about expressing his passion for music to a world that shared that same love. The experience of playing alongside Elton John at the concert became a defining moment in Evan's life and musical journey. As he stepped off the stage, a wave of realization washed over him. This was not just a performance, but a powerful affirmation of his dreams and dedication to music. The thrill of that night ignited a fire within him, pushing him to pursue his passion even more fiercely. In the days and weeks that followed, Evan found himself practicing with renewed energy. He began composing his own music, inspired by the connection he felt during the concert. Every note he played reminded him of that magical night, fueling his desire to share his own stories through music. He knew he wanted to inspire others just as Elton had inspired him. Meanwhile, the impact of Evan's performance rippled throughout the audience that night. Many fans were touched by his story and the sight of a young musician achieving his dream on stage. His courage resonated with others who might have also felt uncertain about pursuing their passions. Conversations sparked among concertgoers about their own musical journeys, and Evan's presence served as a reminder that dreams could become reality with determination and heart. Evan became somewhat of an inspiration in his local community. People began reaching out to him, sharing how they too were motivated to pick up instruments or take music lessons after witnessing his moment on stage. He often spoke at schools and local events about following one's passion and believing in oneself, emphasizing how important it is to support each other's dreams. Ultimately, that unforgettable night transformed not only Evan's path as a musician but also inspired those around him to chase their own aspirations. The experience solidified in Evan's heart that music is a universal language, one that brings people together and fosters connections that can change lives forever. Evan Whitaker's remarkable experience at the Elton John concert illustrates the profound impact of mentorship in music and how pivotal moments can change lives. This story is a testament to the idea that inspiration often comes from those who have walked the path before us. When Elton noticed Evan, it was not just a chance encounter, it became a moment of connection that transformed Evan's journey as a musician. Mentorship in music can take many forms, from formal lessons to spontaneous interactions like the one Evan experienced. In this case, Elton's simple yet powerful words, "Take your time, Maestro," provided him with the affirmation he needed to overcome his nerves and embrace his passion. Such guidance can give aspiring musicians the confidence to believe in themselves and chase their dreams relentlessly. Evan's story highlights how moments like these resonate far beyond the individual. His performance inspired countless others in the audience, many of whom may have faced their own doubts about pursuing their passions. This ripple effect shows how one person's courage can spark encouragement in a community, igniting a shared passion for music and creativity. Through Evan's journey, we are reminded of the importance of support and encouragement in artistic endeavors. Music has the unique ability to unite people, foster connections, and inspire individuals to express themselves authentically. Evan learned that by sharing his love for music, he could motivate others to step out of their comfort zones and follow their own paths. In conclusion, mentorship plays a vital role in nurturing talent and fostering an environment where dreams can flourish. Evan Whitaker's experience serves as an inspiring reminder that with encouragement and belief, anyone can turn their dreams into reality, leaving a lasting impact on themselves and those around them.